Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday the 29th of December 2023. In today's Millwall news, it was match day. Under the floodlights, at the Den. What an atmosphere, what a game, what a performance, what a result. Absolutely, what an awful referee. Not just because he gave decisions against us and sent Savilles off, but he gave, like, some of the bad decisions he made went for us, but what an awful referee. But we won the game. So let's get into the match report from millwallfc.co.uk. 10-man Millwall grind that victory over Norwich. 10-man Millwall secured back-to-back home wins at the Den on Friday night as Tom Bradshaw scored the winner in a 1-0 victory over Norwich City. The frontman pounced in the first half to break the deadlock, with the Lions having George Savilles sent off in the latter stages of the second in a feisty encounter in SE16. That was never a red card. Never a red card. That should have been a yellow card. Joe Edwards made 3 changes for the visit of the Canaries as Sean Hutchinson replaced the injured Wes Harding, whilst Murray Wallace and Zion Fleming came in for Joe Bryan and Duncan Watmore, who both dropped to the substitutes bench. Obviously not match fit yet, they've just come back from injury. Slowly, catch your monkey. Don't push it. You don't want injuries again. The Canaries opened up the night with a couple of half chances, but ones which did not trouble Sarkic. At the other end, meanwhile, Brooke Norton-Cuffy's cross found Wallace at the back post, but after the Scotsman headed back into the danger area, Angus Gunn was able to claim. Gabriel Sara's fizzing free kick with 8 minutes on the clock whistled just past Sarkic's far post before the attacker was amongst it again 3 minutes later as he chipped the ball forward for Ashley Barnes. Fortunately, the front man's header was easily gathered by Sarkic. Kenny McLean blazed over shortly after the Lions made some attacking movements of their own, but with 18 minutes on the clock, the Lions were in front as good work down the right-hand side from Edomo Maku and Norton Cuffy saw the latter cross for the awaiting Bradshaw, who slid home his second goal in as many games. Imaku then looked to take advantage of Ryan Lenz's long throw, but ended up slicing an attempt over before smart forward play between Bradshaw and George Savilles, then almost let Fleming in on goal in 35 minutes, but Gunn rushed out to save. A minute from the break, it could have been 2 for the Lions, however, after the ball bounced all the way across the penalty area and to Fleming. His half volley was tipped wide by Gunn. And that picture there is Bradshaw scoring a goal. Bosh. 7 minutes into the second half, the Lions should have had a penalty kick as Norton Cuffy's strike was blocked by a leaning Norwich arm before Imaku twisted and turned on the right hand side and forced Gunn into a smart stop at his near post. Fleming's ball over the top was headed tamely at goal by Norton Cuffy as the Lions were on top, approaching the hour mark with a bust up involving Jake Cooper and Barnes, then seeing both booked by referee Dean Whitestone. Yeah, Barnes, that's going a bit light there. Barnes smashed Cooper with his arm, and he should have been sent off for that. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, Mr. Whitestone? Sam McCullum falls Sarkic into tipping an attempt over the crossbar as the Canaries look to find an equaliser, with the next effort going the way of Millwall as Bradshaw's shot on the turn was thrashed wide. His last involvement in the game being before being replaced by Kevin Nisbet. There were just 3 minutes remaining when substitute Ryan Longman cut inside and curled a goal-bound attempt to cross the goal, but he was met by the dive of Gunn, who was able to punch away from danger. The Lions were reduced to 10 men on 88 minutes as Savilles was shown a straight red card for a tackle in the centre circle, whilst more cards were shown left, right and centre in 6 minutes of stoppage time, which became 8, but Millwall held on for a gritty win. Indeed. A very good performance from Millwall. Dug in there. Very good atmosphere from the fans as well. Another sold out crowd. Just under 18,000 now. So the team was Sarkic, Leonard, Hutchinson, Cooper, Wallace, Norton Cuffy, Honeyman, Savilles and Maku, Fleming and Bradshaw. The subs were only 3 and only 3 up front. Longman on for Maku on the 72, Watmore on for Fleming on 72 and Nisbet on for Bradshaw on 83. The unused subs were Biakovsky, McNamara, Mitchell, Campbell, so he was in the squad. They put him back in the squad. So it doesn't mean he won't be going back in January, but he was left out of the last 2 squads. So it was rumoured that that's it for him. He's going back to Luton, but he's in the squad now. Brian and Essay. So there you go. The match stats, which will have there you can see 70,715 with 1,926 away fans. So yes, George Savilles sent off, and he could miss 3 games now. We've got this from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. George Savilles there hunched down, bemused. It was a counter-attack break that he stopped, but that there was many Millwall. He wasn't the last man. Why did he send him off? He wasn't the last man. There was like a Millwall player right there. Utterly bizarre. Just the most crazy refereeing performance in quite a while. And I think someone said that this referee, he's refereed like 31 Millwall games. It's the most. The team that he's refereed the most is Millwall. And we haven't won many of those games, so I don't know if he's if he's got some kind of vendetta against Millwall. But what the fuck? That was just bizarre refereeing. I think maybe we should try and get him promoted to VAR because so yeah, Millwall midfielder George Savilles set to be missing for 3 matches after his red card in tonight's 1-0 win over Norwich City. The Lions player was shown a straight red card for stopping a counter-attack in the closing stages at the Den. Savilles slid in to bring John Rowe down as a Norwich substitute looked to surge into the Millwall half. Referee Dean Whitestone dismissed Savilles, who will start his suspension at Bristol City on New Year's Day. The Lions could look to appeal the official decision. Asked if the Northern Ireland international was unlikely to be dismissed, head coach Joe Edwards said, I think he probably was. When you do lunge like that, particularly when an opponent's running at speed, it can look desperate and it puts the referee in a position. Having seen it back, when the ref doesn't get the benefit of it, it's probably more cynical than it is reckless or dangerous. If I think of the McLean tackle on George Honeyman before that in terms of the danger to an opponent, I don't think there's much difference in it. They can go either way when against us, but unfortunately you rode it out after. If he gets suspended for 3 games, that's the biggest blowout of all of it, really. Short term in the moment, delighted to see the players stick together and ride it out for us, but that is a loss for us if he's missing 3 games. Norwich could have been down to 10 men earlier in the second half, but Ashley Barnes was only booked for throwing Jake Cooper to the turf and then not letting go to the Millwall centre back. Barnes also then shoved away Savilles and George Honeyman after he had been carded. Yeah, that's weird. That City boss David Wagner quickly subbed off his striker. We haven't spoken about those kind of incidents, said Edwards. It's so soon after, and there's so much more to talk about in terms of how well we carried out our plan, and how much character we showed, how much quality we showed. The dressing room is absolutely delighted. It's been a tough few weeks for us where we couldn't find a win, and now we're in a little block of 4 games over this festive period. We've done a lot of good things in the first 3. Moments like that happen on the pitch. Certain opponents come here and try and provoke you. If you look at what it did, it brought us a team of fans together even more. The atmosphere was ferocious second half, and that's a strength for us to play on. Indeed. But, how quickly do these decisions get made? Are they they have to appeal it, I assume, straight away? And then they either say yes or no straight away, I assume, on Saturday, and then on Sunday they'll tell us. I don't know, but it gives us a headache that we don't really need. Although I think he will miss the FA Cup game, counts as one of the suspended games, so that's a plus, I suppose, for him to be missing that. We don't really care about that. So moving on to this, more post-match comments, this time from the southernnews.co.uk. That was a pleasure to be a part of. Joe Edwards cast his eye over impressive Millwall win against Norwich and George Savilles sending off. The Lions beat the Canaries for the first time since 2017 with a diligent performance that had the Den rocking. I think, to be fair, I think mostly it was the shit refereeing that had the Den rocking, to be honest with you. Things like that, they just get everyone going, don't it? Joe Edwards was delighted by Millwall's performance and win over Norwich as the Lions ended 2023 on a high. Tom Bradshaw scored after 18 minutes before George Savilles sent off towards the end of the match. They had fans fired up over multiple incidents throughout the second half. Norwich struggled to test Sarkic too much, while Angus Gunn in the other goal was left making multiple saves to keep out Zion Fleming, Dermy Maku, Ryan Longman, while Brook Norton Cuffy fluffed his lines with a free header from close range. The result leaves Millwall with back-to-back wins for the first time since March. Since last season, brother! Since last season! Oy vey! And a hat-trick of festive clean sheets, having also kept out Stoke and Queen's Park Rangers. How about that? Edwards was impressed with his players and enjoyed how much of them factored into a game with plenty of needle. He said, "Oh, that was a pleasure to be a part of. In terms of results, it hadn't been what it should have been, but and we wanted it to be at the 10, so it was one of those bigger Jepsies to put it right. But now back-to-back wins, and it works hand in hand. To be fair, we want a certain atmosphere and energy from the fans, but it's absolutely our responsibility as a team to create that. And although Norwich had lengthy spells of possession is bollocks. Possession doesn't win you games. I think the fans could see from the off that our attitude and desire was there from the off, and they fed off it, and it was what we wanted it to be. It was very difficult for Norwich to play. And then when it gets heated in the second half, it kicks off everyone on even more. And for sure, when we go down to 10, we have to hang on and ride it out. The fans were massive in helping us through that. It was a brilliant night for us. I've spoken to so many players and coaches since I've joined Millwall, and everyone can recollect times when they've come to the Den in Millwall way. It's not a nice fixture that people look forward to playing in. That's how we want it to feel. We obviously want to add an element of control and quality to our game when we have possession on the ball, but we don't want to do that at the cost of having that fight and aggression which is on the pitch in how we play and how we defend, but comes from the fans in the stands as well, which is a force. I credit the players massively, because I would be one to point out that a few weeks ago, when we were in a tough run of performances and results, there were moments when we were creating half chances, but the final decision or end product was not of enough quality, and it was costing us. Last couple of games, there's been a lot of quality at key moments. Norwich have come in and had a fair amount of the ball, more than us. Why does he keep going on about possession? Stop with possession. We haven't had decent possession in the last 3 games. Guess what we've done? 3 clean sheets, 2 wins in a row. Have you figured it out yet? We aren't a possession team. We are let the opposition have a possession, nick it off them, go quickly, with pace, which is why Maku needs to play, which is why Watmore needs to play if he can, if he's fit. We need the pace. Or you need a target man who can hold it up while all the slower fuckers run up there and get up there. He's still going on about possession, even after the results have turned. We had a plan of how we wanted to defend and frustrate them, but we also had a plan of how we wanted to hurt them the other way. And it's a game where consecutive home games, the visitors have come here and dominated possession, but our goalkeeper's not really had a save to make. Figure it out, bruv. Our goal is a high quality goal. Then we had Zion Fleming's big chance to get saved. Then we had Brooks' header, which was a big chance at the end of like a 20-pass passage. We had Ryan Longman's chance towards the end. We've done a lot more going forward than our opponents have, despite all their dominance. So it was a very rounded performance that I was very pleased with. Savills' red card came 2 minutes from the end when he lunged on Jonathan Rowe, who was racing into the Norwich half on the counter-attack. It marks the first red card Millwall have received in 141 league games since Murray Wallace was dismissed against Coventry City in January 2021. Yeah, we're back. I told you we were back. We won our first game in ages. Someone threw something at the linesman, and now we've got our first red card. We've got our Millwall back. Asked if he thought the dismissal was harsh, Edwards said, I think he probably was. When you lunge like that, particularly when an opponent runs at that speed, it can look desperate and it puts the ref in a position. But I haven't seen it back, which obviously the ref doesn't get the benefit of. It's probably more cynical than it is reckless or dangerous. And I think if you think of the McLean tackle and George Honeyman before that in terms of danger to opponent, I don't think there's much difference in it. It can go against us, but fortunately we rode it out after. On the midfielder being out for 3 games, Edwards said that's the biggest blow out of all of it. Short term and in the heat of the moment, you're delighted to see the players stick together and ride it out for us. But that is a loss for us. The Millwall boss will not be drawn if the Lions plan to appeal, and did not comment too much on the actions of Ashley Barnes. The Norwich striker clashed with Jake Cooper, Savilles and George Hanneman. He wanted to take them all on across a handful of heated second half minutes and was lucky not to be sent off before he was subbed off by Norwich boss David Wagner. Edwards said, we haven't spoke about those kind of incidents. It's so soon after and there's so much to talk about in terms of how well we carried out our plan, how much character we showed, how much character we showed, how much quality we showed. And the dressing room is absolutely delighted, and that's been a tough few weeks for us where we couldn't find a win. So in a little block of 4 games this festive period, we're 3 out of the 4 through it, and we've done a lot of good things. It's a really happy dressing room. Moments like that always happen on the pitch. Certain opponents come here and try and provoke you. And maybe if you look at it, what it actually did, it brought us as a team and our fans together even more. The atmosphere was ferocious in that second half, and that's a strength for us to play in. Indeed. But please, stop talking about possession, bruv. You've just had 2 wins in a row where we had about 39% possession. It's not about possession, it's about pace. Now, this was put up late in the day before I could do it. Wasn't put up yesterday, so I couldn't put in yesterday's video. But Millwall message board ahead of this game. And John Neal will be missed dearly by all and will be forever in our hearts. A father, a brother, and a friend. Heart of a line. Rest in peace. And there you go, John Neal there. If you recognise him, but there you go. He's sadly passed away. And happy 3rd birthday to season ticket holder Marshall Gray for 17th of December. So 3-year-old birthday, and sadly John Neal passing away there. Now, in terms of the future, what are we talking about? We're talking about tickets. One of the most contested tickets as a Millwall fan is a QPR away ticket, because they play in a tiny little dump and they don't give us enough tickets. Let's see if where's the allocation? How many have they given us? What's all this with all these different prices, for fuck's sake? What? Oh, we have an initial allocation. We have an allocation, not initial allocation, of 2,699 tickets. That's not that bad, actually. That's not that bad. So let's go through this because it's a bit complicated and a bit convoluted. So if you're trying to get a QPR away ticket, the game is on Saturday the 20th of January. So what is that, 3 weeks away? Obviously it's a big game still, but not as big as it would have been if we had lost against them at the Den on Boxing Day. So it still is quite a big game, seeing that it's only 3 weeks away. And what have we got? We've got 3 league games and an FA Cup game before we get to that. Probably, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing it's that. So Mill travel the Queen's Park Rangers in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday the 20th of January, kick off at 3 p.m. and tickets will go on sale to season ticket holders with 600 or more loyalty points from 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 2nd of January 2024. So there you go. You thought you're going to have a lie-in. You thought after New Year's Day, if you've got your Tuesday off as well. No, you have to get up early and you have to try and get yourself a ticket for QPR away. And if that's your first day at work, you don't need that either, is it? You're driving into work and you've got to pull over and you've got to fucking call someone up and do all this shit. But there you go, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do if you want to get what you want to get, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, you need 600 points or more on Tuesday. Wednesday, if there's any left, which there should be, because I think there's... How many season ticket holders have we got? We've got not about 9,000. No. Is it 9,000? 8,000, something like that. The odds of them, all of them having 600 or more points is very low. But is there 2,699? I don't think so. So Wednesday it drops down to 560. Now here's the thing: if you're buzzing around these numbers, you can buy a ticket for the Leicester Cup game for £10 and get yourself 10 loyalty points, I think, something like that. So have a little think about that if you need to get some more points. I think you can buy points. You could during COVID. they were doing a thing where you could buy loyalty points even though there's nothing to buy for. But I don't know about that anymore. So on the Wednesday it's 560. On the Thursday it's 540. On Friday the 5th of January it goes down. Still season ticket holders, it goes down to 530 or less. This is basically. So what we got? We got Tuesday 600, Wednesday 560 or more, higher, lower, higher. Thursday 540 or more, and then on Friday is all the other season ticket holders 530 or less. Right now, if there are any tickets remaining, they're not selling them at the weekend to members. So if you are a remaining season ticket holder of 530 or less, you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to buy your ticket, because on Monday the floodgates open and all the members come flooding in trying to get those tickets. If there are any left, they'll be scrapping and fighting for about probably 150 tickets that might be left. But I doubt it. They probably won't get that much. They probably won't get that far, to be honest. If you're a member, you're probably out of luck. But any tickets remaining will go on sale to members from 9:30 a.m. on Monday the 8th of January, but only to members who have 200 or more loyalty points. And then, I don't know why I've even mentioned this, because there's absolutely zero way that it's getting to Tuesday the 9th of January when they're going on sale to members who have 130 more priority points. And it's certainly not getting going all the way to Wednesday the 10th of January to members who have 120 or less. So basically all other members. Any other member on Wednesday the 10th of January, you got no chance. It's going to sell out before then, because it's only 2,700 tickets. So they've changed the name of the stadium. I wonder how the family of the kid... They changed the name to the family of the kid who died, one of the youth players. It seems they've now sponsored it now. But they have new owners, don't they? So I guess that's how they can get out of it. It's like, well, you made that deal was done by the previous owners, and we're new owners, so we're going to sell the name of the stadium to Matchday? Raddy? I don't know. And here you go. So here's all the prices. I'm not going to read all this out. What is this? What is this? Confusion. What's going on? But this is important. So, as instructed by QPR, upper tier tickets need to be sold first before selling within the lower tier can begin. Unfortunately, the club will not be able to change any tickets purchased in the upper tier to the lower tier. So basically, if you're an old geezer and you don't want to go up the stairs, tough shit. You're probably going to have to just buy the ticket you can get and then see if you can swap it on the day or swap it through one of the forums or something. See if someone can sort it out. If you're buying a ticket for an under 14, that needs to be bought with an adult or senior ticket. Tickets will go off sale. Well, they'll be sold out before we get to them, so don't worry about that. There is no coach travel for this fixture. I should think not, mate. I should think not. This isn't Crystal Palace. So there you go. Yeah, as I said, initial allocation 2,699. So there you go. There's your QPR tickets for 3 weeks' time. Finally gone on sale. It's the usual bun fight to try and get one of them. Or I imagine. I'm not too sure. The Queen's Park Rangers fans, are they still engaged? Are they still energised? Are they still going to games? How much does hospitality cost? Maybe you could buy a seat in the hospitality. Obviously, you'll have to behave yourself. You can't wear colours. You probably have to be suited and booted. But I don't know what that is. It looks like at Loftus Road, but maybe that's a route to go down if you can't get a ticket. But there you go. So we're going to end the video now. That's it. We're going to look at this, because finally it looks a lot better. This is from WhoScored.com. It's the Championship League table as it stands now. Millwall now in 16th place after 25 games, having won 7, drawn 8, lost 10, scoring 27 goals and conceding only 31, which is the best defence in the bottom half of the table. Yeah. It's the best defence in the bottom half of the table because Coventry are in 12th, they're middle of the table. Bang in the middle, that's the top half. They got 27. They've conceded 27. We have the best defence, and obviously we need more goals. That's obviously a thing that we obviously know about, and we're trying to do that. And like I said, when you put pace in the team with Watmore and Imaku, that opens up the possibility of scoring some goals. And we are now on a 4-game unbeaten run, 3-game, 3 clean sheet run, 2 games in a row won. It certainly looks like it's turning around. So yeah, but worryingly, as we've just heard in the post-match, this guy Edwards, he's still talking about possession. He dreams of being possession king. Maybe that ain't the way forward, mate. Maybe possession's on the way out. Maybe it's about pace and attacking and scoring goals and winning games and being a hero and being a champion. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.